Honorable members, let's begin with our Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory, now and forever. Amen. Clerk, you got any bills?
Mr. Speaker, I have received a bill for an act entitled Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2023. The copy of the appropriation bill and accompanied by estimates on the supplementary budget has been distributed to the members. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Clerk. Honorable members, Ananid Law, Standing Orders, Long All Thursday, M-Day Long Morning, Igwenap Law 12 noon, and member statements. So, honorable members, we have member statements from now till 12. Honorable Member Lolato.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise in the chambers of this Honorable House to give my statement as a member representing my people of Lato constituency and the people of Bana district. Mr. Speaker, my statement is a twofold. Firstly, I will air my views on the statements presented by the President Honorable Ismail Torama and Minister for Independence Mission Implementation Honorable Ezekiel Masat, and two, followed by my grievances statements on matters of high importance. Mr. Speaker, as echoed by many great leaders of this Honorable House, both past and present, the fight for freedom, self-determination, and independence is a fight that our forefathers started long ago. It is a fight that evolved through different dynamics of leadership and various wavelengths of processes, giving birth to various government systems in Bougainville. In 1975, Bougainville gained the first provincial government. As the time went by, Bougainville go inside a big fight where we lost 20,000 lives. And during that conflict, we had the Bougainville interim government and the Bougainville transitional government. Inside Lodislapaitigo, then there was peace. So in 2021, you make got this Bougainville peace agreement where we giving birth long autonomy inside Bougainville through the autonomous arrangement. And therefore, after that, the referendum process, through the internationally sanctioned referendum process in 2019, our people of Bougainville voted for 97.7% for independence. Mr. Speaker, suppose you look him good, all get these processes went through a constitutionally guaranteed processes. Mr. Speaker, therefore, the referendum gave birth to the independence, the ratification where you may talk long today. Through the Bougainville Peace Agreement and the alteration of the PNG Constitution by inserting the Part 14. Mr. Speaker, Bougainville have come a long way through different wavelengths to decide for the political journey through the 97.7% outcome of the referendum that we must be independent. Suppose you may be look long all two plus statements the President and the Attorney General presented. It is very clear that our people want independence. Na blowone mas tintinggen by national government, napluk sabe long this pla vote. Time two pla government ibin agree pinis long insetim part 14 long allowing referendum long take place and the people voting overwhelmingly for independence. Mr. Speaker, from my personal assessment, a lot of the national government politicians are ignorant about the Bougainville's agenda on independence on the floor of Parliament. So I want to call upon our national leaders, triple national leaders, blow you me no can shy away on the floor of Parliament. You must talk long agenda from Bougainville. You must talk long independence on the floor of Parliament long national government. Mr. Speaker, in my opinion, as that time we are in presentation from Attorney General, na President on the previous day, the adoption of the Constituent Assembly is the way out. Long overcoming all this law, illegal speed bumps where national government iwaklo putim. Mr. Speaker, on the outset, whilst I agree on the statements by the President and the Minister for Independence Mission implementation, I want to make some statements here as a constructive coercion. Firstly, Mr. Speaker, the Constituent Assembly is a proven system that can be adopted to bypass the roadblocks by the national government. However, there must be a proper region-wide consultation to make our people aware on the importance of the Constituent Assembly. The greatest fear that you must get is to lose confidence and the trust of the 97.7% of the population of Bougainville on losing trust on you as a government. You must take note of this plan. Mr. Speaker, I was part of the team that me plug along must be witnessing this law statement, and straight after the statement, you may be going on one post-mortem session after the statement. As I can clearly remember, I stated that suppose PNG government emi waklong putting all these roadblocks, you must go back to Bougainville. And therefore, the internal prong inside Long Yellow Bougainville is very important. Mr. Speaker, as stated in the post-mortem session after Minister Makiba's statement, I recommended that we must re-evaluate and have more focus on the internal prong. The Independence Readiness Program must be implemented with adequate funding. At this point of time, we must talk out straight and talk through. After launching and appointing the committees, this program has come to an halt. You may lose thinking lo this la prong. So Minister of Finance, all authorities inside Longya, you must look good on this plan. No good now, but you may like go carry him out. Awareness block Constituent Assembly now, all people long constituencies by Olitok. You plan carry out this law. How many next time you plan on up even adequately fund them independence ready program? And these are concerns that our people are having. Like I said, we must not lose the confidence and trust of the people who voted for this government and the referendum for independence. Mr. Speaker, mipla ol sampla constituencies mipla work. Plantilo mipla work. In Lato constituency, the committee has been set, and to date, there has been minimal engagement because of lack of properly outlined master plan and catalytic support for the committees to do their work. Mr. Speaker, misanap loya today, mila commending all people blo milon lato. And there are some very remote areas lon lato where you know got road access. All people blo me on artwork line. And I've worked with the community. Long walk one time, they've even constructed their own roads. I want to make a special mention. In Lato, the biggest vanilla in Bougainville is in Lato. Na display mi staplon Lamane South Ward 2. The biggest in Bougainville. And my people in Sigobole Cooperative, they are already exporting overseas. Through the support blom me alivim mon sim export license. And there are other communities in Lagas Ward, BHOR community for construction of the BHOR to Lameko Road. This is a more than 2-kilometer road that all people constructing this road. Want a manpower, spades, wheelbarrows. Another such road is the Agabay to Lalenai Road, where all people constructing this road. Want them human labor. Another one is the Menoma Road, where the Mendai and the Mosino community constructing this road, which is a 1-kilometer road. Suppose you look good, the government must adequately fund the constituencies. Na time me talk lo this la, me like talk strong lo this la, 1 million constitutional restoration grant where people have been passing motion on this floor of Parliament. We must also support that. Because this is a 50,000 development grant, I mean, on Apple supporting all work inside long constituencies. And we have been having continuous delays on these constitutionally guaranteed funds, where Finance Minister must get answer along all this. Lo answering all people blow you me. Mr. Speaker, as I have mentioned, the biggest vanilla long constituency blow me, Nalom Bougainville is found in Lato constituency. I am now calling upon the relevant authorities, the Minister for DPI, the Minister for Technical Services, Minister for Finance, and all the other relevant authorities inside lo disla house long look long all constituencies na provide him catalytic funding so that when him something you may walk talk long em long political level must be actualized on the ground. Mr. Speaker, through you, I want to also question the lead agencies, technical services, the finance department on the performance of this government. Because there are some 200 million plus monies sitting in the paramount banking. And it shows the poor performance on how we have been implementing the budgeted projects. You may pass in bill long here, time you may pass in bill finish, you may go out now, you may lose thing long. One of something you may pass him inside the display house. Mr. Speaker, I want to also emphasize on administrative and political control. Whilst we are on our final leg towards ratification, I strongly believe that there must be a all-of-government system structure review. We must have our own public service commission that will determine the type of administrative animal we want on Bougainville as an independent nation. The type of education system we want on Bougainville. The type of policing. Do we need to review the current policing? And question whereby you mean need long ask him you mean. Implementation of the SAP agreement and one-line budget. Time me talk lo one-line budget. Me like talk more. Long all this like 290 funds where MSAB come down. Currently this like 290 funds and walk long go inside long department heads. Whereas a government you will not work on decide on this money. Na prioritize him. 2 weeks ago, Mr. Aplo must be, we had a meeting with the SRC Commission. Now online law SRC all advising me, this money should be going into budget na you prioritize him na give him. And our parliamentary services has been totally left out. You may tell him all departmental heads na parliamentary by also one him. You may talk independence now. Our parliament has been blacked out, left out. No got ink, no got stationaries, no got paper. It's critical. It's about time that we have proper planning, budgeting in place. So you must look at this plan. Mr. Speaker, the structure of the DDA on Bougainville is another issue that we need to question. We also need to review the organic law on peace building, because on the DDA Act, let me clearly stating that DDA apply on Bougainville. So these are all structural issues. Suppose you may not fix him this law, and may not address him all issues where you may not face him today. Mr. Speaker, for how long will we have the national seats in the parliament, and when should we make them become redundant? That's another question that we need to ask as a government. Because plenty all these arrangements, you know what can work. Only no work. Mr. Speaker, most importantly, planning and budgeting are vital components of every organization. As a government, we must properly plan to determine the budget for the whole of government system. The establishment of planning department is very important.
Honorable members,
And positions must be occupied on merit.
you got, I'll give you 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the existing project management unit must be adequately supported rather than creating another project management team under the project president's office. Mr. Speaker, I want to take this time to call upon the president to seriously look at the performance of this government and its office as a whole, why a lot of these projects not executed on time, who is managing the funds in the designated baskets, what mechanisms are there to scrutinize and to ensure that these funds are expedited to where it's supposed to be. Mr. Speaker, me like make him this strong black hole. Time you me got project management unit is finish, why you me work like create him narapla? Unit lo managing all projects. We must really define the structural systems and the reporting systems in the whole of government system inside Bougainville. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to call upon every citizen of Bougainville and my people of Lato to have faith in this government and this leadership. At this final juncture, I want to emphasize on the important component of support from every citizen on Bougainville. Every independent nation brings forth with development. Now this development is a kamapan long ground. Now ground and one component inside the Bougainville where me like talk out. Suppose you me like him development long Bougainville, people of Bougainville, he must give him ground long government. The two things that I learned, land and security, are the most important components of every development where you may like come up inside long yellow Bougainville, na narapla part long Papua New Guinea. Suppose you may not got ground, suppose you citizen of Bougainville, you not give him ground, then no can ask him want him something, the money work him. Because you know work give him ground, lo government, long sanapim all this la development and tap this la ground. Now lastly, security is very important. To have confidence in the government, to have confidence in our investors, lo come na partnership, security is important. Lo supporting more big projects like the Panguna mine, where President he approved him. The Bana Special Economic Zone, where President he give him toko right long all these projects. The Manatay Limestone, one more narapla projects inside the Bougainville. A lot of these projects cannot progress because he got plenty land issues. Therefore, I'm calling upon every citizen of this soon to be an independent nation, long please work one time government, make him ground you available, long money can come na partnership one time you na come up him all work come up inside long all constituencies. One time display, Mr. Speaker, me to thank you again long you giving me this time. God bless Bougainville.
Thank you, honorable members. Me like just reminding honorable members also, long member statement. The time limit is 10 minutes so that other members can also have the same opportunity, long talk. Me recognize him, honorable member Imakimolo ex-combatants, long Central.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, long give me this law opportunity through long private members' business statement, sorry. Mr. Speaker, today I rise to speak on an important policy agenda that shall be called the Bougainville Fight-Man policy. That matters most to those I represent in this House. And I rise to speak. On the Bougainville Fight-Man policy. The Bougainville Fight-Man policy is the policy that shall manage, control, transition from post-referendum to independence. The Bougainville Fight-Man policy shall cover areas of medical support, education, employment opportunity, token of appreciation, and many areas where the people of Bougainville and its government can acknowledge those group of people as they diminish year after year, and one day we will not have one of those men living. It always saddens me as I think of how we will support those heroes who fought for freedom. Mr. Speaker, as we move into the future, I call on the government to consider the future of former combatants and develop a policy that will address the immediate needs and adapt it and implement it forthwith. We have seen issues rising in our region. And that is simply because the government has neglected them in many areas and occasions. Some of these examples may be, these are tip of an iceberg. These issues relating to disgruntled service providers and those who are looting Chinese shops. Every year we have experienced these issues. And when they happen, we say ex-combatants have participated in these illegal activities. But we forget to put a policy that should draw lines between real former combatants and those young generation participating in these illegal activities in Bougainville. Mila Gedon, long this la Operation Challenger, and me sepasim plenty of big place you through. Emo line is la Operation Challenger of long olimo na puti mo going sa long base, emo liglig mangi. In Central Bougainville, me heavily involved long a system this la Operation Challenger. Na me digi go down, na me look him, he got big pla time bomb. Suppose government by continue to neglect him. Or line where me play represent him along this la house, the former combatants. Mr. Speaker, my other point is that our veterans are not set on stone. As time go by, veterans will decrease every year because of aging. Scars bullet in their bodies, and some will be dying of sickness. We need a clear policy for the government to at least appreciate their contributions during the Bougainville crisis. To this date, there is no clear government policy to address the needs of some of those former combatants that are suffering with scars and wounds from the Bougainville War, and they need immediate intervention. Since many of our veterans are dying the welfare of the few who are remaining must be properly taken care of. And there must be rehabilitation centers to reintegrate and help restore the minds of the traumatic experience. Mr. Speaker, my next point is on the participation of former combatants in any government development initiative. We must fully engage them so that they care for government assets and in any development initiative that the government plans to bring in their areas. Former combatants and Bonneville region-wide. Government, suppose this is la government, and me enacting this la policy, me talking me internally, Bonneville, in terms of security, and by 100% secure remembered, and by ring fencing remembered, because all former combatants, when time government is making motion, all by looking that yes, government will apply give him look sabe. Now they will be all by start long take him up ownership, responsibility to look after Bonneville internally. Mr. Speaker, finally, my next point is that on the participation of former combatants in the government development initiative, we fully engage them so they care for government assets and development. Mr. Speaker, finally, a veteran is a seasonal man which will fade away as we move into the future. The third generation might not experience or would not know what former combatants and what veterans is and what the veterans did. As part of our independence ready for the former combatants, government must begin to acknowledge and appreciate what this group of people have contributed and done to liberate Bonneville from colonial oppressors. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Me comment him this statement on this Honorable House. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To me, like contribute law previous debate. Supporting statement from President, supporting statement from Attorney General Aste, na sample comment me like make him. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Me like tokosem lo totop lo Attorney General Aste, by me must behind him this la President even come up lo national government Papua New Guinea time me kisim independence me must behind this President. And me something where me come up law government policy so more better me couple road where by me adopt him constituent assembly. This is a process me okay di me pla by me must scale him, make him awareness long of people. Na atin by me must behind him this a process. And me process and me start inside minister law and me justifiable. Iru kosem the next JSB leaders go. I think me must put him lo yablo national government that me like him independent moderator. Long this roadblock national government work make him unnecessary. I think me must put him lo notice lo national government. Me need him independent moderator lo moderate him. This is a process blo me a constitutional process. It come because this law all roadblocks unnecessary. Na within the timeline blo me no like him. President me put him timeline. Na me must work within inside the timeline to achieve him all important agendas to work about blo me So something where this house, people must look. Now all people must understand him. People must adopt him constitution blomipla through a constituent assembly. Talk about blomipla. So so very important. This aspect, the whole of government Mi mas behind him this process. Thank you, Speaker. Another point below me long mi harim plan the leaders i total lo funding constraint and panguna mine. Me like him by me must government we must take the horn, bull by the horn. Lo imi look. Lo imi must reopen in mind through the government, through the policy of the government. By we must open in mind so that they may relieve him. And by relieve him, you me lo work lo government, work lo departments, community governments, only work lo sort lo money, only work lo perform. And money that's all by determining him. We have to have money and we must manage him. So, all the landowners, the resolutions, only give him government, the reopening mind. And then the local entity, now they are united. Me hamamas true. The looking all landowners, all united, only no stop law, investor groupings. So me challenging government, lo behind resolutions belong all landowners, now guiding process towards the reopening. Or like him, local entity, any company that must be owned by Bougainvilleans, the ABG and the landowners. Now, you must tender him Panguna Mine to be the partner in that local entity. Panguna Mine is a highly contested mine resource. So, government must come to your terms and conditions. We have to tender it to get the best deal for our people. That investor must be part of that local entity. We have to take back the economy. This time around, we must be masters. Long managing, developing, and running resource development. We have to be in control. Prime Minister Marapetu will try to take back the economy. How do we take back? People must make it more law. So one time this law too, I think we need to legislate Panguna and then a separate act and a separate policy to look long separately. And a big plan resource. It's an impact development so that other SMEs will write on the impact project. We cannot bank on only click low-hanging fruits. Low-hanging fruits, SMEs write on the impact project. So all the business activities, stimulate activities by right on the big plan project, and that is Panguna. And I need law that by Mipla set him up. We need to legislate, just like time of living like opening Panguna mine before living legislating Bokambi-Kopa agreement. We need to open Panguna under such arrangement. So it's protected. Why it's a highly contested resource. Maybe workly project this land BCL the time redevelopment plan for 24 years. We talk redevelopment plan, the PID is for 24 years. So you can operate in the scale you mean for 24 years and close the mine, and we might go green. We don't need mining on Bougainville. You may give him revenue benefits, you may invest on other sectors like tourism, since him passing, and we bank on tourism and we declare Bougainville green. We don't need destructive mining. So that's the kind of thing that we can have a master plan for Panguna, a master plan. For how many years we're looking at? And we legislating a separate law because we play a 7 tenements, and why we call them Bokambi-Kopa agreement? And because we are so resourceful. This island is so resourceful. So let's have a good master plan for resource development, extractive industry. Then we close him. Destructive development, we go green. You may actually mortgage more resource below me time. They are unextracted. It's time inside the ground. So one time this too, me like him, impact assessment will come up. Me like him, impact assessment must keep the leaders informed. The relevant departments must be informed of what is happening. This is the workload impact assessment. It's so vital. So at the moment, CPC too, no sabe. When something will come up, activities under the impact assessment. Only one meeting that's all, few weeks ago, CPC been sabe so. Relevant departments too must clear through the information sharing as to progress workload impact assessment. So me question him, Member of Loyolo, me asking you, lo, keep the government informed as much as possible, not just paper, but personal consultation and the mining minister. Because it's so important. The leaders of Bala talking at work come inside, lo, boom one time, or lo, leaders of CPC. So this law work where BEC men sanction him, CPC law, the dialogue process, the component A and B. So I think you may team up. I think teaming up is a good approach that we will get a lot done together. You may work individually. It's not good. Government agenda, we must team up as leaders, the agencies for government. We must address him. These are important agendas for government one time. Those type of law and order. Me like ask him, special operation law, police must continue. Must continue. Finding resources now, supporting police, the work of police. Must continue. Lo you changing passing. Now police, you continue to work in the work. The behind or culprits, now apprehend him all, now deal one time all through justice. Me like in police department must be resourced, supported, funding allocated, the work long all. So cyber sorcery, killings will come up. So unbearable. Governments must come up one time, a modality, a way forward. Do deal one time all Islam. Sorcery killings, where people blow milk law, all go die. Just because accuse him, now you know got evidence, now die come up. I think that's not on. It's scaring away people. Do this law, sorcery little cases, you may go look him. Back up or come up with properties. Just because me no mama slow him, or me jealous slow him. Me accuse him somebody of sorcery. Now die come up. That is just not on. I think we have to make a turnaround. Big problem of Papua New Guinea too, now here too. I think we just got to mitigate it and manage that issue. Issue blow before, blow time blow tumbuna, but the times have changed. We got to be able to handle it and manage it. The shooting this time now. Suppose no God. This like we are not immune. Anybody will just accuse one relative like me, because of jealous person, and then you may leaders too, we are not immune. Property blow or back up. Car blow will pull him. It's just not on. Misa looking now, hard blow misabe. And misabe, sorry, it's just not on. We got to be dealing with it as a government. Or people blow me no can die nothing. It's about time now. People are calling independence. And we have this kind of incidents all come up in the community. No straight. Go painting bad picture. We need to come up with some policy, some way forward. Not did one time this law. This is stupidity. Go look at primitives. So I'm legally comment side law and order. Remember last time we mentioned him some money, 200 million, the Paramount Bank. Me asking good minister from Milo Finance, you clarify on this law. 200 million in missing down on the map. So there's supposed to be true some money that we can grab, we can access. Let's make use of it. Long projects for government, low hanging fruits. Please, must karim kai. Must karim kai na you may benefit out of it. This is a third year into our leadership, this fourth house. So you may look, let's make the low-hanging fruits producing fruits so that we're actually generating revenue. Law veterans, me are veterans member I comment, long issues for veterans, because some funds has been invested, the number of veterans. Me like Save, these investments, so we can kiss them, the veterans can actually benefit out of those shares through business activities. Me like him, these investments must come out of plus clear, only being invested law, name law veterans. So that they may help veterans play me. You may look, all the veterans can benefit. Only can this make, these shares can be accessed. Now, something can happen. Or two veterans bla. Some go, and some are we need to cater for all this law, all of these veterans. Online even fight all this law. This is freedom law, people. They must seem to be benefiting. Please, me like Sabalo, where these shares are. We need to find out so that you can make some work business or only kind program you can work him. So only can be benefiting from all these things. So I think we got a big challenge as a government. We make him another comment and the planning department. I remember later we make him planning department. I mean important department of government that must exist. Development partners only come. The first point of call is a planning department. Only by come now, only by talk. New Zealand will put in mamas. Japan will put in mamas. Then we have all the plan. That's a coordination point of government. It's a whole of government. It's a planning department. Every government is like a planning department that is independent as a department. Now, we just got to manage it if there are issues. So, this function belong planning department. Me like talking most important function as a government.
Member close to, I think you finish him.
Thank you,
Give me 1 minute, yeah.
Thank you, Speaker. And let me finish now. So, importance for the planning department, important. Me like you, me look. Now, we must got planning department that serves its function. Policy of government, planning and one function of government. So, time he gets up one time me, but we got him Dr. Blomi so. Thank you, Harim Blomi. Let me finish awesome. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member Hago, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Lord, giving me this opportunity, give him snapshot too long what transpires in my constituency, and of course, a lot of issues who work affect him, through dischargement, political responsibility, Otherwise, me like to some the leadership of ABG, Blomipla, now through community government, we have a very good working relationship. One time community government, Blomipla, through the manager, now to Chair Lady Blomipla, and of course, all the ward recorders, And just recently, one big task you will get been work about long is the collection of taxes. Long time halibim work about long this government, now to the community governments, but we have successfully collected our taxes, unless all sample awards as all now we'll start it along try and bring in all the tax flow, all returns when they come back, the community government. But all in all, with all the activities that transpires in our constituency, it's done through that consultation. With the ABG member, one-time community government Blomipla, along Hagugai constituency. As I speak today, we're having some big activities coming around along constituency Blomipla today. The construction, big tower, Losai communications from Vodafone is under construction. One has been completed. The other one is emerging now to be constructed. One time online Blomipla Telecom. And I believe Hagugai constituency is going to be the only constituency with 4 towers compared to the others. I think some plateau will come up also. But that's how serious we are. Losai communications, Blomipla to be rolled out. You mean not only in the Boca district, but otherwise throughout the whole entire Bougainville region. And as an aspirations for us to declare our independence ready, Blomipla constituency and throughout the region, communications is also very vital today. So, Mipla work lo move long and lo this time. Minister of Works, we like to also we have a 2.5 kilometer to be received and sealed along one road Blomipla connecting Gagan constituency, Pate constituency. Me believe also the contractor has abandoned the road itself. Now me like him usually mula officers lo check this road from Bartania to Gagan Pate constituency. I believe that there was 4 to 5 million injected this road. And that money has been coming out from the DDA, from a former late honorable member who has passed on. Maybe they've made the decision themselves to come up in this walk. Mipla law constituency, Mipla like him this road to us to be reseeded and sealed. Now me like him technical officials. Only must go now go check him on this road. I think it's also a reminder to all of us that all the decisions government work will come up in. Long infrastructure development you meet throughout the region. Your department is held responsible to ensure that whether it involves road construction or involving construction along all the classrooms or health centers for your region, your officers should be there all the time to fully check on all this infrastructure development. Now updating the government come on how far all this infrastructure development work will come up. I believe that there's so much money that has been out on contract along the roads inside the region. But the outcome of the road is semi-professional. Some road that ain't work complete yet. So where's the rest of that money? Lo complete the road here. One problem on the road is Mr. Airport. We want to know today that constituency they are complaining about this road in the work police. So these are the sort of infrastructure development you need to save in face of government you may, and to make sure that the contractors all work working with work on carry out for the benefit of our people in the constituencies for this region. And we are always reminded that all these activities come up. There for us to declare our independent nation, long infrastructure development work will come up today. So me like to call some constituencies, although we are not having money, especially as a member, me like to call some this house. I came in 2005 when there was no money at all. But we continue to deliver long constituencies, and it amounts to my mandate, my reinstatement long government all at a time. Now I'm not seeing it today because funds are being lately released. Walking walk. You know, these activities which are coming up, you will only not talk about, but all in all, you member of the constituency, you must put inside, you go inside. They come up, sporting activities come up, outreach program will come up. There's one big one that is coming up. Constituency Minister of Mining. We've been getting letters or invitations to provide some funding into that. How are we going to fund these activities? And these activities are independent ready activities. Bring in the line, come just for the outreach program, and yet we members we are not given the funds to try and address, now contribute to something. You know, our constituency support allowance, our developmental grants, they are not released on time. And we continue to borrow from service providers today. You know, people are borrowing money. Some of us, we owe them 20,000 kina, 30,000 kina, and yet we are not repaying it. And when these activities, they continue to surface today, what are we going to be getting it out from? My block is somewhere. So, Minister for Finance, you know, we've been told from the national government that we are getting the highest budget compared to all the provinces in Papua New Guinea. And how come today we are not feeling it? We are not seeing it, we are not feeling it in our constituencies. How are we going to declare our constituencies independent ready when funding is not available? So let the money will go away. We need to know where all this funding is going through. There is a diversion of funds every now and then. Now you know what back in money. If I'm right or wrong, 7 to 8 million from 718. I'm stop already. Hey, this is the first time we are in red with 718. Now all the programs will work come up good. So Minister, we need to do a random check with finance. Do an audit with finance, and we see where that money is going to. Which department is chewing up all that money? Who's that minister involved? Who's that member involved? We need to know. The president needs to know. You may need to say something else. No, the president will look at money, this government will look at money, and funds are being diverted to other areas. Hey, Harim good. Why do we continue to buy cars? Why do we continue to buy cars? When we have so many cars today, what are we going to do with it? Even the administration, believe me. You got plenty of cars, but you're walking on a montamulocar, People are not feeling the presence of us in those constituencies. You mark my word. As ministers, you're experiencing this, the same thing all over. You mean inside the region. So, me like I feel strong. Suppose government bringing money come down the time, let this parliament know. We want to know. Because they tell yet, meaning not true. Lo accepting will send 718 is in red. I will not accept it. Not a big issue me like put him here. Having going through, you go through legislative supplementary budget that's going to be presented today. I see some 20 million is not here. This is RDG funding. But we have been ill-advised to say that this is from a special fund. We have some blueprint here from the National Department. And I want to make it clear, this 20 million should be featured in this supplementary budget is RDG funding that is coming in. If I'm right or wrong, but the blueprint continues to showcase. It's from RDG. Minister of Finance, you have a lot to answer to all these financial queries. Now the statement will come up here. That's why, me like him, in this honorable house, make the decision to make an audit to the finance and treasury. Now you established it, all the money will go away. Why I continue to ask this? Because of the late release of funds from people members over here. We are not getting it on time. How are we going to be felt in our constituencies today? All the members are here, or the Bagrapim you minister, including ministers. Because you cannot contribute long activities na work come up ng constituencies today. That's why I hear mo say, "May, sample karinet na work lo mushroom lo sarap talents in you." So please, I'm appealing to this honorable office, especially Minister for Finance. You straighten this law work about you mean finance. You mean here. Okay, Minister for Health. Before we conclude, I still want us to iron out our issues one-time health center. And you will ask me today. We are having that meeting on Monday. And I want your officers to come. Now you straighten this law. I don't want to lose that health center. As I've said, it's one of the best health center in Boca District. And we really want to maintain it. Like what you have asked me for the COVID-19 Bright Center, I gave it to you. Now I want you to fully support me. One time this well-furnished, fully kitted health center. You don't like him, but you diverted my attention. When you needed me, I gave you the health center. Now I need you. You must work one time. Look, I'm having good service for the health center. However, constituency, that health center is fully strategically located in the center of Boca District, Lopet constituency, Natulo Halia, Haku, and Chitaloto. This is a very sensitive issue. Be like him, you address him.
Honorable member, you finish him.
You finish now, 1 minute.
Thank you. 1 minute.
1 minute.
Give
Like
me
the
1
others.
minute.
Okay, so I'm appealing to you, Minister. That meeting is going to be convened. Now, me like him, all officers, you come. Now, you go sit down one time. All Manisa still in Marasin. All HEO Blomin, I'll go sell in Marasin Lopeles. This is not the way to address this service. So, me like him. If we have to make some changes, HEO make those changes. Constituency Blomin be like him, because we want that health center to be fully operated. Lo saving Mipla, saving Halia, saving Haku for that matter, and Chitaloto. Behind by Mr. Timasuk Nagolo Rural Hospital. Let's continue to work together. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I may call him Member Blow Atol, but before you talk, we got click announcement also. We have a media, line blow ministry, long media and communication, only establish him tent outside the grounds of Parliament. They're looking at media development inside law PNG na law here, developing some policy. And we could plan only working survey na suppose you got time. Go talk lang all. You might have some ideas, some views about media development in Bougainville. Law Parliamentary Service, we've been in touch with them. And we're trying to get live streaming of our sessions on your mobile phones. We play testing finish, but these are the kind of things. So suppose you play got some idea, they are here. Tomorrow, about Stablo Bell EC. Honorable member for Atolls.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
10 minutes.
Thank you. I think by less than 10 minutes. Thank you too much. First of all, me like give him look save long. All statement belong all members even talk finish. As also in agreement, also talk ikarmapim some concerns in regard to what about me as a government. State of the art belong haplo me, but me like make him clear along this honorable house that whether you harim or you know harim or you've been harim, but you know sabe what is happening. At the moment, talk long yumi long kisim sambla economic benefit blo yumi long haplo mi barap long one plus ship. And even go on top long reef long Feed Island. Na poret blo mi long oil spill whereby barapim hap. So me like him minister long lands and physical planning, long take note, the Minister of Community Government and Fisheries. Long take note that on the 17th of this month, time me bring him late body belong one plus senior officer below me, belong atolls, even losing life, Mr. Kamariki, belong community government, me board him ship, time he got 2+ ship, he stop long hap. 2+ ship he come long about, purposely was, according to my finding, me even go board him ship, now talk him captain, belong 2+ ship, long meet up with me, long talk him me, who told you to come here? The reason was, ship belongs to the people of the island already. Tapos ship pass lo reef, na ipakarapin something belong place, ship belong to the people of the island. So whatever happened, whatever on the ship, whatever something, belongs to the people of the island. That's part of their compensation. So Miss Naughty-Mall, me play holy meeting lo ship, and the story I got was they were assigned by National Fisheries and NMSA by instruction to go and salvage the ship. But my understanding is that instead of salvaging the ship, they are taking parts of the ship. They are getting something, the oil and other parts like generators and something like ship. So this is not on. These things belong to my people and we can sell them and get money as part of my compensation. So me like talk sabe that the government take notes that time me talk long all of fishing potential lo salwara, all of foreign boats are still barapim salwara blayumi. And this is a very big mother boat, a fishing boat, a long line fishing boat. But so me stop yet, me pass. On my return, me contacted Mosby, Department of Fisheries, the Department of NMSA, and they told me it was their task. Only like salvation ship, so that by oil spill, where he got whole penis underneath the ship, na parapin penis reef, and that is a very important reef along Long Island. And me sabe got plenty all kind fishy stuff. Now lo economic survival blame me, and one blah happy like and go on a finding peace na come. Me like to all of them, me bring him no notice of this government that something is happening on the island, and whatever is there, me talking about line belong NMSA, now line belong National Fisheries. Where is your report to me? Why not me as the member of the island is not getting the report? Why are you intruding into my soil? Why not you come long haplo me, now you steal him something long ship? But anyway, I got a clearance already. So me like him, community government minister and your department, fisheries minister and your department, and lands and physical planning and the department, please give me the reports so that we are all vested with what is happening. Long disaster office, I already got the report. Thank you very much. I already have the report from the disaster office. But I'm talking about fisheries. Where is your report to me? I am the key player of that area. Must always make sure I am there. What is happening? Anyway, I gave them F, and I must tell you, I gave them F to get out of that place. So that they don't play around with us anymore. So anyway, this is for your information. Secondly, I like to announce here, yesterday and the day before, me making announcement that since me play no got all people belong atolls and Nissan no got plenty business activities, long sustaining livelihood, they have gone to harvesting truckers. Now only selling me go along neighbor island long Palau on Java, where me talk one day more of leaders, now members belong along hub, all of them halvim long exchange of kai. Long time you missed up on this time you me no got economic something belong people belong yet. Meaning only harvest, but they are taking them by small boat, and that is very risky. Focus is very heavy. So what I have done, me talking all, my small ship will help you to carry more something I go for safety purposes, on humanitarian ground. On humanitarian ground. Just like what the Kariki and the Shortlands are coming to Buin, selling their fish, that is what I am doing now. Going back to my brother and family members on the other side, now only halvi mipla at this point in time. This is a notice to this house so that you are aware. I have already sent a letter to the Minister for Economic Services and the Trade and Industry to let him know that this arrangement is in place. This is people helping themselves in time of need and on humanitarian ground. Mr. Speaker, the next I want to bring up is that at the moment, our shipping link to the atolls is assisted by my small boat, the MV Solwara Mary. Until I have Solwara Man in the next time to come, then and by helping Momoyet. But this time it is Solwara Mary, my little boat, that is doing the service at the absence of a government boat, servicing the people. So at the moment, all our legal services, by supply of food, we like to thank you, long government of the day, for your 1 million allocation. But that 1 million allocation has already been spread across Nissan. Time Nissan even gives him drought. But thank you very much, government of the day, for your 1 million to me. But the only help me like put him come up lohia is that you like give him the sort of kai na long shipping, long fuel, long display, long ship, long run. Now I'm using my own money to get the fuel to supply the food to the island. But that is my responsibility. Me no complain. Me like talking government, that's all. This is what I'm doing. Me like him also in the next budget to come, me look him also, me got 7 million pennies. Whether it's for settlement or for my ship. Suppose it's for settlement, I will transfer that to shipping. So that we go now, that's all, next week, and look for a ship. Thank you very much. Me look through the budget, and me look him. You play, you already halve me. You play no halve me, but me cut him all neck play. So on shipping service, me like to also thank you very much. While I am saving my people with my little boat, I only need some halvim shipping so that I can get the fuel. To go to my island is 10 drums, and the 10 drums is 10,000. Where do I get the 10,000? To go to Feed Island is 6 drums, and where do I get the money to buy the 6 drums? To go to Carteret and Nissan to play close to, I need 3 to 4 drums. And this is what I mean. The logistic. I want the government to support me with logistic, meaning separate for shipping so that I can buy fuel to help. In the provincial government days, government is ever giving me shipping support subsidy. And that is what I want the government of the day to also do to me. Maski ami private ship lo me, or private ship lo naraplaman, you help so that you subsidize me. Tapos you know subsidizing me, mami bakarab na ship yang kalong haba people gisub service also manin. So this is my notice. So Minister of Community Government, tapos you got money below you community government, you give me come. By halving me long, running ship that's all. I have the second quarter of food supply to go. And the people are getting the food supply, but not. They only last for 2 weeks, and I finish.
You got 1 minute, member.
Thank you. Man, close to true. Me no finish yet. Okay, the next one is, I want the government to look after us. I need one public cemetery. Me pla line me pla atol si dailo here, me pla using local cemetery. I want the government to look after me because me play will spending money too long all this plan. I want the government to give me a proper public cemetery so that people from me die here, me play can plan die more than before. You go along the cemetery, I'm all atolls tasole. All atolls is sleep here. So you give me a public cemetery so that my people can be planted, or you can plant him all good. Not planted, but plant him all good. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Give me one more time. Me like talking, long all the previous allocation from budget, there was some leftover money of 150,000 for shelter for the people of the atolls behind in program from late member before from atolls. But this play no stop more. Can it be finished in the next budget to come so that all people below can give him kapal, send him touch roof? Now, something me like talk sabe, my community governments are working with me this side. Before only work all yet, all members all yet, district all yet. Now we are together, plus the community government office too. We are together. We're working together. Why? Because this is the unit that deliver to the people. So we have to work together in partnership.
You finish now, member.
Okay, thank you. One last one. Thank you very much. Bami talk all the same. Law and order. Law and order. Me will like talk on this plan. But now, give me the chance, please, Mr. Speaker. Law and order. For me support him too much. All of you must give him good plenty money, have him law and order section by the work of the police, and all of work all you make him long Operation Challenger was good. But me like adding one blahab that there must be a patrol on the islands. Because me play got all pirates. You play seven, me play lose him life on the islands. Because he come lo me play here, all the brothers in here. So I want that to be extended. Not only on the roads, not only on the mountains, but over the sea. Anyone with a fast boat so that they can travel out now monitor him. If there was peaceful on my job now, we like him or police to be present.
Thank you, honorable member.
Pirates can come up. And sorry, me got not too, but anyway, thank you. Time blow me now.
Thank you, honorable member.
Thank you very much.
Honorable member block Kono, and then by me go along, honorable member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, me talk thank you. Now you give me this opportunity. Long talk on behalf of all people below me, long Kono constituency, long this time, long grievance debate or member statement. Mr. Speaker, all people below me, long Kono constituency, already long independence. Kono constituency, maski how you will look long em, and being one long constituency and being working. This la declaration long referendum ready. It been got all planning line or been thinking also by how by Kono we working, but we did it. We made it happen. We have been declaring that constituency and me referendum ready. Now on proving this law, me like talking this law, Honorable House, Mr. Speaker, that Kono constituency and being one black constituency and being kissing plenty votes and being kissing the biggest vote in southern region and on constituency below me. Maski how you looking. So that's why we work on talk. Kono constituency is referendum independence ready. And Polabe even come number 2 long this independence referendum or votes. So me like talk with them, Mr. Speaker. Me talk with them, maski government or you who said you got one kind tintin on this black constituency. Kono constituency emi part long Bougainville. Kono constituency emi no stablo Simbu, no stablo Hagen, no stablo Mendy, emi stablo Bougainville. Now on this line, me ask him, one service you provide him, you must provide him service long all line across the board, one kind that's all. Service he must go long all have. Me talk this because Mr. Speaker, today me blaga this supplementary budget and me sit down or sit in front of me play stop. Now me hope for him, me got something inside on this supplementary budget. Because me like talking to honorable members of this honorable house, that constituency below me, I think in one black constituency that's all people below me, or this other soul time or services go on top of big mountain.
Me got on mountain, but you look go down, now you look come on top, now you walk long go. Now people let me walk long shoulder or big or something go. Even got one big bridge or line blow me long kekemono or even walk him where me connect you go long line blow me long have long conquer this area. Now still line, only been carrying long shoulder, now only been go. Now in a long time, member of the South Program Bill, DDA board being approving member water supply. Now there's 9,000 tanks, tubula, plus all the hoses, na plus all nervous something, long come up in this water supply, or this whole time na go. If only Parliamentary being got on the screen on front there, by me play more this video na I look him. How hardship, or you walk along kissing more people below me. Me like him road infrastructure. They must be reached by roads, or you must go along car and go down on house wall. This is how you walk along Karim, or a sick man Mary. Or you walk along Karim along this is a bed, or you walk him, na Karim go come here. I mean no straight. Me like him road, he must come up on slab. Me like government, you must look side or same, you got one area, or same stop long up. Technical service, you got data. You got data on one old people play walk the stop nothing. You know got on road na this la. Walking data collection, you will find him out na look him, na search him, na help him or sila people. It's an independent nation, people like him, services must be across the board long orgata, constituencies play you me. Me like to go sem, Mr. Speaker, me believe also Londis la budget or maybe looking finish technical service, secretary of technical service, na minister of technical service, na maybe putting forward one submission from me. Long is la road by come up long no wino igo long kekemono. This la area and we need one blood road. I think no people through or carino soldami all right, but not this la day today. I mean no look good. Long people blow me walk long soldami or something I go yet. You know long have the sol. You got some have areas in salon apakon no too one kind of sol. And tablong Mr. Speaker. You got big need long all health services. You go long. This is the kind of area now we talk long em. All people, all the staff long backside, long big mountains. Now time, all land long all is sick, only must kiss him all walk about us in 5 hours to 6 hours, he come to the nearest health a post, and long lehu. So this is the person must stop. Maybe like him all lick a post long all get a line. I think long before, good time. A post he been stopped. But time people walk long come now, invite him all this a line long. All foreigners, sorry, me don't call him more but only been come now, walk long, give me the sample kind tintin, long sense him, sin down, blow you me. Or the sense him now, this is a post no more available. But we tintin, look, long, people are sick, that's all. Health centers, and supplement centers, and all this kind. A post, I mean, is a must. Me like him, a post inside long constituency, blow me, long line is long hinterland, long mountains, long me blah. Education, me like to go say, Mr. Speaker. No education. Me kasi one black kind approach on constituency below me. Me now work on concentrate on early childhood. Early childhood na long elementary. Me looking more sem, and me good la more long educating more this line, time more stop on this early stage. Because only by learn hurry up. Now they will grow up to be educated, now while grow up and look up long one is something wrong, now one is something right. So me believe also suppose constituency blow me sakisi some good funding, me by continue long come up in more elementary na or early childhood because he got all beginning start but all no got this our facilities long go na sit down na school long em now look long stop nothing or semi stop. So what happened next? Next you look maski no people enough by carrying one black gun long have because can stop all get have. So the only way me looking was long come up and got some good change inside long constituency for me and long education. Me believe education and me right la tour or some minister of long education will talk us there. Long health side or some me mentioning this. Me got need long all a post. Now all health centers only must improve him. Me like to go some long Tabago, Apacondo, long health center, long hub. All mama, time more like Karim Bikini. Only walk long Karim only go long Wara. But go Karim Bikini long Wara. Because this will have, and will PBF long on by only go out. Me walk long talk to this because me like you Harim. You know got tank. You know got water inside on this health center staff. Technical service department. Harim me now. No need na mi come up solo you. Inside the parliament, mi wako tok-tok ya. You harim mi na halbi mi no sambla kind something. Mi like one bla pump. By pumping water, I go on top now, water by stopping inside when it's the housing. You like improve, go long kono. Go long have na you look on mama, karim pikini, or look long go down the water na kamanta. And me, you know, good lie. Me like you bla support him or help facilities for me to long have. All right. Me like talk with him long me like come now long site long government. Me like talk with him. Government, you need a big plus change. Change must come up inside our office. Office from president, office from vice president, office from all the ones that line come down. You go in up all departments, or at the office, you need a big plus change. Change must come up. Me knows I wanted something and we don't long have, but me want to throw my talk that's all. Or say, you must got some plus change. Suppose you look him or something in the street will come up. You must got some plus change. Yes. You mean you can deny more saying you know got something work will come up. You got something work will come up. Try and put in change long end because now you will start on this period long this independence play you me. Me like talk same parliament too, me like him some change come up long here. Me no say me not talk on this law no got but me believe was and grievance debate, me must talk on this law. Parliament, me like him was this la question without notice or question time. Every day, since him na come up in question must stop. Today, I mean also before, in 2005, you know, we got long something no talk long em. So parliamentary work long relax. Today, you mean work long like go long kisim this la independence. Na people looking business or some you mean no kisim long easy wait as all. Why me fight hard long em. So have long fight way. House man ya. House will talk ya. People fight long here. So parliament give me more time. This is a 3 days session people say hold him. Me like also you extending. You go in 4 days, even 5 days, 6 days, or 1 week or something or same. People will finish it on start on Tuesday, finish it on Thursday, all. Now they are outstanding or something is a start. The ministers almost are presenting all ministerial statement long because he no got time. Ministers only must present him this ministerial statement because Mibla or preferences, we have to get it from them. Now go talking about people from Mibla. One in something this department working. But you work on districted because only, you don't have time. You don't have blaming all ministers. You don't have time to bring him out all this ministerial statement because 3 days Mibla sa him. Me look at you got some need to standing order. You must send him. Now Mibla can even 2 weeks. 1 year, I'm all right too. But then something you look long him. Never talk me like talk also. Me say you run inside on 10 minutes from me. Me like come on, you must ask them even talk finish. Involve him all this line, elites from me, all hardliners. Involve him all now. Long all meetings, only must stop inside. Because something wrote him, he walk long go along him. Only got all thinking, only got all institutional memories, only got long him. Let's involve them. Long all decision making to all long forum, you may talk, brainstorm, something the same. Nakaman you can see some good Latin. I go working more decision play you don't have. But me like you play involve more because no good to me working me go. Let me palm on brick wall. Now if I talk, how you play it now? You must involve me more. This is a leader man. You miss out. You play usat me work refer long all. Only must stop long some meetings from long leaders forum or kind something or same. Health minister. I was school of nursing. And we work in some like graduation finish. Long 2 years ago or something or same. Me like talk or same. Still today, all this like graduates, all this like nursing officers, only no kisim pay yet. They are not on payroll. What is happening? Today you know got money so stop nothing. Health minister, me got respect to you, me got trust to you. You by working come up. Look on this line, give him all this or this like young man, maybe only come up. Nurses almost at least give him some pay long payroll long week long. Police, me like talk with them. Thank you, police minister. Long this debate, me plan to be but today, long this time, I good time, long me plan contribute long him. Me like talk with them. 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, or 1 week, or something or same. Me like talk with them. Thank you, police minister. Long this time, me good time, long me plan contribute long him. Me like talk with them. 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, or 1 week, or something or same. Me like talk with them. Time police minister present him statement long em. You may be walk round and tap too much. Two of the main points have been putting you mean look long em. One blah this la Operation Silencer. Another blah and funding. Now me like touching more is a two blah big point and been putting now me like talk them. Operation Silencer and me one blah success and successful. I mean thank you police minister na Commissioner Tokura long come up in this land na come up with them successful. People only peeling. Constituency people only peeling na me sabi na me ok talk. This operation must continue. Government me like you holding past this operation like continue. You funding about this operation will continue. You talk minister say me stop from me no like all people that more say me
Member,
stop.
you got last minute, please.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Speaker. Me like to host him. Long this operation Silencer, government putting more funding along him. Long funding side me like to host him. Me having police minister statement along him to host him. Only been talk long budget long of 1 million. The government you giving them 600,000 tasol. This is no strength. They have their priorities. They have their programs. And budget long all. How were you cutting budget long all this big important department of police? Don't housing was him. So maybe was him. Government you must give him this you give him this money long all. Now hurry all one budget long all you work him or you must go along him. Otherwise, thank you all members. Long look at the contributions if I walk him and maybe one good session, we can talk with him. Now me like you, me continue with him. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member Rao.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me time, lo talk lilik. Me like before me talk, me like talk thank you na. Give me mas blomi golong president. Long come inside long constituency blomina. Launching this blah drug free now this la. Na two me like talk hamamas me no being got time long comment ask and I go down. But me like talk hamamas through long. One of something where AG one time a president you make long spearhead one time. Me like talk also so far so good. As you walk about, me got big plan. How much through looking also over the ministers, now over the department. Walk you long come up. Walk you go. Long one them, this lab you come up long and me one historical time. Why me call him historical? Because through this lab I'm going to come up with one record, now one story, long future generation. Long happy me long kiss him now. We have CP no survey go long and you me long kiss him. Also na long understanding blow me ba mi talk also mi plan online by mi plus tab dis la gaman by mi play deliver to mas na mi plan can ask him na tromem talk anta abstre to mas because understanding also time mi make him independent now by something capside go all people blow me long constituency na people blow Bongerville. So me like comment him government of the day one time talk also thank you through as walk long go you play walk long go pass long from the back bench. Me play got comment also plan something walk long come up. Long people blow me long Rao constituency too. Before me talk long people blow me long Rao constituency me endorse him straight. Talk where honorable Hama let me give him. Even na long kiss him lightly. And more talk long want to honorable call talk penis. Me like put him force untap through so me support him through. People blow me Rao constituency and also me sabi hari me hot spot. And me play really long come up with some gold spot. Me play look forward no long since him come up gold spot. You know also this drink but gold straight yeah. So walk rere inside long constituency come up. Me walk long alibi me at one time meal long katimolo olo houses early childhood now classroom long all. So far me not finish long one time all constituency me play walk one time all long. All houses me block long cut long but me play hold up because you saw finish time you long talk and money now long legal money where me plan up long help long roofing iron long all people in up long looking man walk blow me plan at same time too all by hari me play talk long this walk about blame me long prepare. So law and order and me one big something straight and me foundation long place as me walk long go towards him independent law and order. Now, plenty all kept policeman lo mi plan sa long constituency. Only need long equipped. Only need long equipped because plenty time only stop inside long olo peles blo only sumuk one time gen olo citizen na only show him gen wrong picture. Na only down him gen power blong story blong law. So only need long equipped. Na tu only need long isolate moliet. Only stop moliet na only walk because only click all biket so long come up. Only ang plan now we only walk long start sem kusai. You know biket em kusai tasol. Now we walk long come up ng last blow biket inside long constituency long mi long raw. But long kata ko na mi nap to call sem only hamamas lo lukim gaman as president one time central ministers only come down police minister only come only go back only lukim sem gaman and mi progress na two only ready straight. But looking forward as well because plenty long olo members where me play been stop long independent ready mission. Only been voting all out. Na mi walk long wait yet one time by me na sinal back one time maybe sample back na mi play running all program to independent ready. But so far talk long walk the soul you walking all people is stop easy because you me talking all you me walk the soul na you me busy by walk it teach me pla. So me like talk long working relationship lo mi one time committee gaman mi alright mi pla walk bung one time na tu mi etsimol na pla colleague lo mi tu please mi like you pla tu you walk one time olo committee gaman lo you pla. No can stop lo narablap, no can stop lo narablap na you pla stop go na talk one time all share him some idea na imi walking because politics emi suppose long arre lo disla level ya emi go down finish gen long ground politics. Or same na imi need long talk one time all na give him strong back lo chip lo carry out him all walk. Narapla talk mi like talk him long ya long side long at roads. Road long mi long constituency long mi like him straight road and mi masi go on tap long 8 long aita. Na mi got some short talk one time president finish too but me like him. Me like sangap lo time na me like talk him on this road and must come up because me na long relocate him back all good bla. All man or you go back on top sampla sim kisim all side long one me na long excess because all population plenty is tap it on top long mountain. So road so naraba ting me like talk long em to lo apia Mr. Speaker he must got policy. He must got policy on technical service or some you know got one plan man I mean have come from somewhere lo boss me inside long house blow you. Plenty time all technical service long outside long cardno na all this outside only throw me plenty million kina so 20 million or over million long cutting grass na digim baret na all this time me like him also minister long technical service I must put him some policy in place. You know can come now you come making a something law place below me. You come consult with me na me give you priorities so same. You making this la past time. You ceiling call tablo me past time. Walking more is all morning I stop. You mean na blong you me just talk one time online ya na you me got some policies in place so that all this like kind money no can waste so because tomorrow the all grass by grow. Tomorrow the all by water come back by this la baret only digim ya I pass back. Na money ya I go finish na is back long em. So I'm all thinking me like put him because me looking myself. Suppose me ko talk me no got money. Start long buini kam na blong buka. This la money ya suppose he got policies in place. Maski money bro but then place blong yumi. Gaman blong yumi. You must put him some talk only na blong behind him. So me like him think this lap talk me put him me like put him narabla big last talk also health law and order government of the day put him money long law and order na bali carry out him priorities belong him because me foundation belong kirap him new nation health me like him healthy man na Mary must stop because only click sick too lo kill him dalo man you me put him money go inside long health big money na by carry out him all priorities belong him where we have long straight him all a healthy man now only look forward long good blah independent and long come I had long me blah na education you may not get too much supply time you may not can blame him too much all papa na mama you must be wise you must be wise so you may like come up all good blah online blah me blah or sabe pikin blah me blah suppose all papa mama all long pay side long education this is all some help long education side long money school fees you must come so that all sabe pikin blah me come na suppose you talk long money you got to go in the streets stop you got to go making money and stop where you go carry out in finish na and by 10 in time all percentage come by me got money by me make him out in this la triple main up me talk them so one time Islam Mr. Speaker no with me all in another time
Me talk thank you too long giving me time. Thank you.
Mi singaw tim member Lolato. Baba. Then by me singaw tim narapla tupla last member na may give him time lo all ministers. All members have been raising some issues na ananit long display member statement. All ministers usat you play raising all issues only lo ministry belong all. Only can take him 5 minutes or 8 minutes lo back him. So member blow Baba. Then I'll get another 2 members because you may start late.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, allowing me to make him some legal statements here. Some acknowledgements and just a little bit on progress that's been happening or grievances law constituency. Mr. Speaker, one big challenge law constituency where me long try law resolving is basically the issue of leadership inside law community governments and time me play been when the community government or new leaders been come only resolve long accepting or resolutions where previous community government have been passing. Now long triple pillars where me play work and one play governance, now one play fiscal independence, and another play security. I think what we've seen and encouraging me is the collaboration that me play strengthening between all community government and more particularly also one them district in terms of the programs we're delivering. I've had the opportunity now long start more close to one them all community government below me starting this year. Last year, me plus start put him money below community government, money below grants you go directly in the community government so that the community government takes ownership of budgeting and priorities below him. I think one of the important things when me look long him, Mr. Speaker, is the issue of leaders at the ward level recognizing themselves as the legitimate voted mandated decision makers inside long communities. And for the communities to recognize him all or some the mandated decision makers inside the ward level below so that decisions may not always come back look constituency member. I think I want important something maybe look strengthening. But as we can tell from a lot of the comments that have come from the leaders, we can do only as much as we're given support for. Constituency below me, Mr. Speaker, me like Togolsem, I think only a few constituencies here who are owed grants worth 1 year. I have 3 or 4 quarters owed to the constituency, and this is a major problem. Me not deliver, and the community government can't actually have the fiscal support to make him work. We've passed the budget this year, one time community government below me, and it's jointly some funds to South member will put him come inside. It's significant for the community government in that it's a 400,000 plus budget, but some figure plenty and ghost figure that's all, because we don't have the actual support. Now, me like appeal on the relevant minister to make sure that this is resolved, so people can move forward. Me like also acknowledging support from all development partners. We've had the privilege of having constructed for us a community government office. We have some plan of the constituency. That's a privilege. But me also stress him, I think, as a government too, time Australia will work in part long installing all halls in our community governments. We should take responsibility and put him budget, support him all this community or constituencies who don't have those infrastructure to have that built for them. I may not look good time certain constituencies are getting the support from development partners. And I believe that in doing that, and my responsibility to come back law ABG or maybe also budget law, this or something. But I want to acknowledge the support from the Australian government, the programs that have been delivered. Me harem about 3 or 4 weeks ago that the materials also blow Tavera Bridge and me companies, and I acknowledge the support of the Australian partners who are supporting me. I think that again, that support can be enhanced. I think there can be more improvements in terms of the collaboration me like that. Me like also stressing importance long, particularly me facing the constituency. The collaboration not only between the ABG and donor partners, where me plug looking positive a lot of positive response. But also this la support collaboration want them national members. I think this la issue where a lot of members raise him with respect to DDA. I think that's a very critical issue. Meeting also the organic law, I think there needs to be a review, and I agree. I think we need to specifically, it must specifically spell out in the organic law that how the DDA is supposed to operate on Bougainville, whether it's supposed to operate at all. We can relate to Solowampla issue where Mipla being got in terms of a meeting between stakeholders in terms of state land. Baba constituency has one of the largest state land in Bougainville. Now, Mipla will start consultations with landowning stakeholder groups. And when the minutes of the meeting went to the DDA, all DDA, oh, this has not been approved. Now, who is the DDA? They are not mandated leaders. These are a bunch of officers, with due respect to them, whatever the qualifications are, who are put together by the leaders, make decisions on behalf of the people when there are mandated leaders on the ground also making those same decisions. So I think this is a real issue that has technical and legal implications that Mipla need to resolve him. Mr. Speaker, I acknowledge him support where police minister will give him. I acknowledge the support that continues to be given in terms of support along establishing Southwest Bougainville Command Center along Insalo Babalo State Land. It's unfortunate that the Lands Minister is not here. At one meeting, informal meeting, I stressed the importance of the support that we need from the departments in terms of facilitating these kind of things. State land law, Boku need him really, state lands department, support him. Carry out proper survey, confirm him the breadth and stretch of the land, the width and breadth and length of the land, so that Mipla survey when them have customary ground is tapped, now this lakain, and again give awareness to the communities that time crisis come up. I mean, revert him all get a land, you go back along all traditional owners. I think that's one of the biggest challenges we have. Now, meeting also at certain points in time, Mipla member, we end up spending development grants on basically engaging officers, independent officers, where you may get finish departments that are responsible for those particular activities. Mipla go try and find more surveyor again because lands doesn't have surveyors. This is an important thing Mipla consider him. So the state land want them all sample earmarked infrastructure. Now again, me acknowledge him Department of Health, support you got in terms of establishment of the Southwest Bougainville District Hospital. Those discussions are ongoing. Now, me acknowledge him again, support the health department. Again, long establishment of this housing. Land is a big issue, and we need the support of the lands department. Going said, we've already had stakeholder meetings. Me acknowledge him will support the landowners. Look towards some infrastructure, but the state must come back. Now, Mr. Speaker, this is a point in time. One time this issue belong head belong Department of Health, it's in limbo because of the suspension. Meeting also Mila Coolers like Amban too. Let's have this resolved quickly. Because discussion, me plug logat one time health department, you go suspended again because law, suspension law. Secretary. I'm not on anybody's side, but me like to also if we have that issue continuing, and by hindering straight work, me plug law, all member like moving law constituencies. Me like also acknowledge him to talk DPI minister. I think I've seen in the supplementary budget there is a 1 million for establishment of DPI stations. Me like DPI minister, not gonna lose thinking that you have land, state land inside along Baba constituency for the DPI station, a major DPI station that used to be there. Again, me like come back to lands department. That support is really needed. Lo me play work. Mr. Speaker, me like also talk also we've embarked on a lot of things that we've done. Me like acknowledge him too also. Community government is beginning to step up in terms of budgeting and taking priorities from them. But again, the support, the funding support that's needed, I think that is critical. Now, local constituency, we're looking at a couple of economic projects, and I hope that we'll be able to submit the documentation required by the Department of Commerce. Lord is la 200,000 constituency development grant, economic program where MIPLA need to access him to 200,000. So Maybe in the coming week, I hope that I can do that to access that fund. I hope it's available. I think confirmation below, Vice President. I think that's very important for us. Me, like Togolshem too, inside the constituency, me like acknowledging all initiatives that are taken by the communities in terms of progressing certain initiatives. Department of Education, our teachers below you inside Lo Baba, last time, Lo ABG Day, they took the initiative. They've started the initiative last year, long celebrating this day, and education as an education exercise, you know, celebrating nothing, but through the education sector in Salo Baba, only using also an opportunity to educate the kids. One time also program. We'd like that to continue, but we'd also like to take ownership as a government. People must take ownership while they take the initiative and lead. People too must come in and support. And again, me acknowledging this support for education. In terms of education, me like raising to this issue, this flow. Some issues that have been happening at the administrative level, I think, where me affecting all students. I got all kind of reports also on corporal punishment that are being, by me talk, they've been corporal punishment against students. Now this me being thinking also corporal punishment is something that's been done away with maybe 20, 30 years ago. But it look also me got all teacher only fight him all mangilo school or assault him all. I mean, these people can be charged for these violations. But it's something that MIPLA need to address him, maybe at the department level. Now, I think it's very important. Me like to also too. There are some issues. One plan issue, and me like talk in the constituency level is abuse of powers. When me look him from certain officers within certain departments, when me no long try to deal one time recently. The fisheries sector, Minister Blood DPI, I think you're familiar with this discussion which I had with you. In terms of officers, which had only been gone, only been remanding all line of place, two plus chief, one plus ward member, and one plus citizen, and held them for more than 24 hours without charging them. These are fisheries officers. This is abuse of power. We were only holding them all for 1 week, more than a week. Deprive them all access, all relatives or visitors, not phone, small phone blow all too. And I have confirmed this, and I have spoken with police officers who reprimanded those particular fisheries officers. Lokisim nating on manlo place, come, holimol nating lompla house, probably owned by the department, and then holimol for 1 week without even charging them. And then after Mipla deal on them this issue, only go down to the police station, and then instead of coming up with an amicable solution because of that, you know what, more justice prevailed because they went ahead again and charged those individuals. Lo me no argue against whatever violation they've committed, but me think also there should not be any abuse of authority, abuse of power. Just because you got power, you don't need abusing authority. There are instances also there are officers who are not authorized to be on mission or go. These officers have also been reprimanded. Now, me acknowledging work where police will work him. They've also identified those officers who have been reprimanded. But these are things that are happening. I think Mipla need to really look because Orlando Mipla place a lot of awareness they don't get. Madam Minister Blong Fisheries, I think he must get big awareness too, especially long season blow Peace Lama. Online Blom Coast, they really depend on Peace Lama as a income earner. Na time only kisim information when we not correct. Only hurry up through or move, and then it results in these violations. Me like to also time me like finish, Madam Deputy Speaker, also not something me play in need long look like me constituency too, in terms of budgetary support. EMLO supporting all economic programs in the constituency, not just through the economic sector program, but also through the budgetary allocation process. So meeting also, Madam Deputy Speaker, when something MIPLA progress in the constituency, I think that's a priority for the government. Now MIPLA must look continue to support him or something the constituency so that MIPLA deliver internal prong. May acknowledge him too. This la Tok Tok Blobana veterans, the veterans member. We've been doing some support for the Bana veterans. I think a policy that is in place to support the legislation, I think, and by very, very important, because I think all veterans, they are a diminishing population. I'm on a population where Bauli stop over the years, but it's the population continue to go down. So I think we need to address some of these issues through policy very quickly. The law is in place in order to support him work or sample dreaman where Miplau Klogat in terms of supporting them. Madam Deputy Speaker, I think that's all I want to say this morning in terms of acknowledgements na constituency work na sample grievances. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.
I call on the honorable member for Haku.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, or Madam Speaker. I also wish to rise to this chamber and the House of Parliament to present my statement. Madam Speaker, me walk lo hararim long all tok na me appreciate him. But first, me like talk thank you long pe Pablo President aste na pe patu blo echi long aste. Long continue lo guide him yumi na give him legal advice long yumi all geta, and we as responsible members by me go back na yumi talk lo all people lo yumi. I would like us to appreciate the fact that where we are now and where we came from, and I'd like to sort of remind us about our political journey. Since 2001, we signed the Bougainville Peace Agreement. It was a joint creation between the national government and the ABG in consultation with our people of Bougainville. Now, we successfully achieved this block. So it was one of the significant achievement as our start of the journey to independence. Secondly, in 2005, the national government granted us the autonomous status, where we now are known as the Autonomous Bougainville Government. That was in 2005. Then through the exercise or implementation of the BPA, which talks about the referendum, in 2019 November, we successfully and overwhelmingly achieved the overwhelming result, which was 97%. What I'm trying for us to appreciate is the people, the journey that we have actually walked our people through, the rural Bougainvilleans. And to date, we also, since the referendum, we were then looking at the processes and the way through which we can actually address the referendum results. We have done that, but along the way, the national government has since deviated, and I think we dwelt on that yesterday. But me like talk also, all people blame me since 2001, coming up long election, na come up now. They were once again only sabe, they were led to believe. And of course, I think all of us were led to believe, and we do believe that we are on the right track. We do believe that we are on the right track. But how do we handle our rural people, what we are going to tell them? So it is very critical at this period of time that you must get some pre-preparation of lik talk sabe on how we can address the situations at their level. Because over 90% of them will not come to terms, either not understanding what we mean, and number one. Number two, Bauli focus ta solo how far we have walked this journey. Now we must talk long, all good law this plan. And some plan or something me like by me look long end. Okay, long look now long some plan walk. Some plan walk where you must make him. Long one plus something me like go look strong more long end. And long look long side long community governments. We did dwell on it briefly, but me like talk also institutional capacity in human development. lo area lo planning, na area lo actually documentation, particularly on submissions that which are very, very cumbersome. I'm talking about the PID and PFDs. I give my example of Haku community government. Last year, they did submit a number of projects through these cumbersome forms, and none of the project was funded. We only have 200,000 kina development grant. I have been struggling to try and get the community governments. We are operating in the same building, unlike every other member of Haku constituency previously, because I want to sing from the same songbook. I want to develop with them a same work plan, a same implementation, which will feature 2023 to 2052, where you even talk long and a need law leaders summit. And we have been working along those lines now. Now, people something me look in, they are undercapacitated in terms of finance. They cannot actually document proposals to submit through this cumbersome and lengthy journey before you eventually get approved. And thirdly, long approval stage, they mipli no kisimuan project straight nogat na inogat all geta. So to date, we have successfully negotiated with the Secretary for the Department of Technical Services to at least get some of the technical officers to come and scope the 5 feeder roads that were constructed in 1975, 40 years old. They have become the potholes of the peaks. So only make him display. We will be documenting that, but if possible, let me discuss him back, lo time me got this supplementary budget. But and one plow along all areas where me look long in. Secondly, me talk lo this la EEZ, the special economic zones. Haku, me please thinking, lo put him strong through also special economic zone, and need lo this special economic corridor. In this special economic corridor, we are vying strongly the downstream processing of copra, which at the moment fetches one of the lowest non-attractive prices. But we can create that particular commodity into a very high valuable commodity. So the way we are approaching them at the moment, which we have done already and progressively doing, me apply register him 12 cooperative societies for each ward. So we have 12 wards, we register him, all this which will be met by should supposedly be met under my support allowance, which I have yet not received, and we play walk in this Eventually how it will move is that they'll come under what we call the Bougainville Destinies Health Foundation. And this foundation has already been registered and still yet to be fully pledged funded. So I'm displaying important. Now on top, and by God, this board which the foundation will be answerable to. But this is how the connectivity as far as the structural arrangements in terms of operating this thing is concerned. So we are at this stage. So feeder roads, as we see it, is one of the enabling infrastructures that will ensure that when we set this up, we will be under a company which will be created to produce virgin coconut oil at Kesa Plantation. At the moment, as we speak, we are negotiating with the landowners, and it looks good. So these feeder roads, these 12 feeder roads where large millions of coconut stands are existing, and by enabling this company under the partnership.
But me give me 1 more minute.
Okay, this plan now, and by enabling all the people of Lahaku, all the rural people of Lahaku, long actually join also na partner one time this company, and they will not only be a partner as mere participants, but they will also hold stake to that particular company, so that whatever that trickles down in terms of the benefits that come down, they will also get that benefit. And this plan is important. Last plan, we like to talk long end. Maybe put him this plan around submit him behind. And one plan long issue long fisheries. Los Cyber fisheries, they personally come and saw me at home, and we almost every month we see fishing boats that are actually operating and anchoring inside the 3-mile zone or 3 nautical mile zone. And we requested fisheries, and I think the member portals will also agree that at least the money that you get, the 5 million that you get out from the tuna fishing is actually disturbing our local people fishing the tuna too. And we learn about 20 tons per month in Haku alone, but it's consumed at home because of the Haku population in there. But what I'm saying, I requested them if they could actually give us a toll-free number under their cost, giving me one plus 23-foot boat, now one plus 60 feet engine, now me polish in this plug. On top of that, give us a communication system where we can actually immediately make him display. Atolls na Haku important because me play visible along all this line, and we really want to step up this so that you can actually gain more from that 5 million. I heard that we are already trying to talk about increasing the intake, the volumes of catches that are derived from the tuna catches. On top mo lang yan. Haku people, there are about 20 boats in town here and in Haku that actually probably landing 30 tons a month. And we need to probably address this so that if we have a better boat, all you can go and sell him outside, kiss him extra money. So these are some of the impeding problems that we continue to face. One time this law, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honorable member for Kongara. And I think this plan by me call him last one. And by
Okay.
Tanya.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor and Speaker, for giving me time. Me came delivering 2 statements. Me to the floor of this honorable house as a member for Kongara constituency. Deputy Mayor and Speaker, it is an honor and privilege to be here before this honorable house to present my Kongara constituency statement. This statement is also a follow-up of my previous statement made on the 30th of March 2023 that outlines achievements in reference to the previous statement in parallel with Kongara constituency 7-year development plan 2023 to 30. Deputy Mayor and Speaker, this statement will also unveil important issues that must be rectified and totally free ourselves and achieve our destiny without fear or favor of foreign intrusion, who are here to continue their dominion over our beloved nation to be via their systems that are using created as modern age slavery, thus blocking our freedom. Just to mention few, Westminster's system of governance underpinning our original covenants. Swipe code, a modern-day slavery system imposed using their central bank system with bone. Uses of communication systems to intrude our privacy, etc. Anyway, prior to the content of my statement, would like to commend His Excellency President Honorable Ismail Roma and your Vice President Honorable Patrick Nisira, including your BC Cabinet Ministers, for your steadfast commitment, regardless of the political and economic turmoil that Bougainville is going through. We recommend you for achieving so much within this 3rd year of your leadership as the 4th President of Autonomous Region of Bougainville. The college members of Parliament who have continued to work in serving their constituencies regardless of the financial implications that is hampering constituency independent ready. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Simon Pantanu, for your guidance in controlling the Parliament. The Clerk and the Deputy Clerk for your continuous support in ensuring the rules and obligatory functions of the Parliament is always maintained. The parliamentary staffs of your dedicated service ensuring that there is always effective management of the parliamentary services. Lastly, to my people of Kongara constituency, thank you all for your support during my term as member. We are now into the process of implementing the Kongara constituency's 7-year development plan. I commend you for your support, especially the payment of hard operating tax. We have saved this nation. We have to save this nation from our heart and not from any borrowed funds from abroad, for there is no free money in the world. It is only a trap of our resources and slavery of this modern age. Deputy Madam Speaker, may I now go into detail of my statement? Deputy Madam Speaker, assessment of achievements as spelled out as per my statement on 30th March 2023 will be outlined with indicators of what has been achieved and pending, but needs further follow-up by my constituency office and the Kongara technical team. My statement will be made under sections and subsections as per my statement of 30th March 2023, further outlining achievements pending, etc. Economic development, Deputy Madam Speaker, economic is now the determining factor where the government of Bougainville and the people must work and accumulate wealth through their constituencies' development plans and be independent ready before 2025. Deputy Madam Speaker, Kongara in its own economic drive has identified small but high impact projects. Number 1 is rice production. Number 2, water bottling. Number 3, peanut processing. And 4, pineapple processing. Out of these projects, water bottling and rice production has already begun. Water sample is under processing at a lab for its purity. Should receive the results in a week. Further process to kick the project of the ground is underway. Rice is now widely grown throughout the constituency. Under the current arrangement, small rice mills will be supplied to the rice farmers. Further work is still being pursued so that Kongara constituency can make their first sales in the 3rd quarter of 2023. Deputy Madam Speaker, there are small but high impact projects where this government must look at in funding so that economic sustenance starts at the base, directly benefiting the people and at the same time paying tax to the government. In line with this statement, would like the Good Minister for Commerce and Trade and Economic Development to assist with funds so that the projects as identified can be funded to boost the economic growth of the region. The activities are microeconomic activities. The Madam Speaker, projects as mentioned above will boost the economic sustenance of people in rural communities, but there is always a need to know the saving culture. Under the Kongara Constituency 7-year development plan, informal sector is under the target plan, apart from the registered SMEs who must be educated to know how to create wealth and establishment of the village micro development fund. In pursuance to this, may I ask the Honorable Minister for Commerce and Trade Development Economic Development to organize training targeting the rural population on how to manage micro activities at a village level. The hard operating tax, initiative of people of Kongara constituency. Madam Speaker, there is no other better way to achieve independence than the people taking ownership of their 2019 97.7% independent vote. Deputy Madam Speaker, I am pleased to announce herewith that the people of Kongara had wholeheartedly agreed to take ownership of their independence vote, resulting in a constituency-wide collection of hard offering tax to supplement their independent vote. Madam Speaker, this tax will be withheld under a special arrangement between the Kongara Constituency Office and Kongara Development Authority until 2025 when this government declares its independence. I wish to commend my people for their initiative for taking ownership of their independent vote. Along clearing more this hard offering tax and me cut all rates, me plan setting finish all businessman or by giving sacrificing 500 kina as all big business small or giving 250 working class 100 kina organization or church 50 kina and all one man Mary is along 18 years ago and up 20 kina 18 years he come in about 10 years 10 kina 10 years kalau last plabon and 5 kina and by awesome share belong all on this entity. Okay, physical economic roads. Deputy Madam Speaker, on the 30th March 2023, we have made a visit to the office of the Minister for Technical Services as well as the letter that requested agent attention to deploy technical officers to do scope, provided bill of quantities of the roads in Kongara, etc. For these roads are appropriated and budgeted within the 2023 budget. Since to date, we have not received any response or feedback. May I ask our good Minister for Technical Service to inform us in writing why the technical officers have not been deployed to scope these roads so that funds can be sourced. The Deputy Madam Speaker, construction of these roads will enable socio-economic growth into the rural communities where women, children, huge cash crops, farmers will all benefit from these projects. Physical infrastructure, Kongara Satellite Town. Deputy Madam Speaker, as a member for Kongara with the aid of with the head of my Kongara technical team, have gone into designing the Kongara Satellite Town at Kakusuda Sipuru. This site will accommodate key government installations, including a Pentagon building that will house the constituency office and other key stakeholders. Draft plan of this project is under process. I'm pleased to announce here that the landowners have agreed, signed the land use agreement for the development to proceed. Deputy Madam Speaker, I would like to inform the good Minister for ABC Technical Service that a request letter will be made to your office to assist with the surveying and mapping of the site. Also, on the same token, Department of Lands will also be approached for your assistance in regard to the land and its legality.
Member, let me give you one more minute.
Okay, thank you. Migolo governance, Deputy Madam Speaker, under the Bougainville Peace Agreement, governance is the last pillar where current government needs to clearly demarcate or define and choose between one of the two governments, chief system or the community government, as their second-tier government under the new independent nation to be. Deputy Madam Speaker, this scenario is not accepted by the people of Bougainville, who wish to see the true meaning of 97.7% independent vote. There is no part, clause, or section of the Constitution of the Autonomous Region of Bougainville that states community government as its second-tier government. Deputy Madam Speaker, who is manipulating our rights and degrading our holy and respected Constitution of Autonomous Region of Bougainville that clearly recognized chieftain system as the only second-tier government. Deputy Madam Speaker, let me draw distinction between the two governments, chief system and the community government. But first, may I ask our good Minister for Community Government and this Honorable House to take note that and know that I am here trying to bring to light the truth, because it is the truth that will set us free. Community government, Deputy Madam Speaker, is a foreign concept, a model of governance designed in the West and was given to the North Solomon Provincial Government in 1975 with the aim to distract our leaders not to insert our chieftain system on their second tier. However, in 1989, this community government was ousted by the Bougainville War in 2016. The second ABC House of Representatives, under the advice of some people, this system was inserted back via a community government act forced by the foreigners who don't want independence for Bougainville. Deputy Madam Speaker, as long as the community government exists, we will have no prosperity and total freedom and harmony in our society. For the community government is a virus designed and inserted into our culture for a purpose that is to suppress and destroy our chieftain system and fail our destiny for independence under the last pillar, governance. After weapons disposal referendum were achieved outright. Deputy Madam Speaker, regardless of the impulses of or the bottleneck and the negative impact community government is having in our people and the chieftain system of governance, we, the people of Kongara, will continue to work together until this government will
Honorable member, your time has lapsed.
to its senses and in adopting chieftain system as its second-tier government as outlined in the Constitution of the Autonomous Region of Bougainville. Thank you, Deputy Madam Speaker.
The Minister, our Honorable MP for Central.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Me like taking this time I like in some long olo tintin contribution blue yumi long tete long olo talk and stop again lo yumi long and number one and big plus something and be like overall long congratulating AVG government blue yumi and we continue to maintain him stand long Bougainville long walk about blue yumi long and thank you lo President Vice President Minister for Independent Bougainville Attorney General Masat and me congratulate him all hard-working people cabinet Blayumi be like giving Blue Savelo that take him in this time is an important work about political work about Blayumi long this time. We have reached this climate this time long work about Blayumi long and important true okay me like endorse him support him stand talk blow policy blow president especially Mabalo Bloyumi and big plus something long country Bloyumi, long new plan nation to save the way forward Bloyumi longen, long giving power Bloyumi, and me guide him Yumi, na to me protect him Yumi, long go about Bloyumi longen. 3+ spirit and important protection, guidance, na empowerment Bloyumi, long operate as a nation, long go about Bloyumi long land, long spirit, long constitution. So me like Apolin, thank him, the president, long work, na leadership, and we got one time you me longen, all our cabinet, na all ministers, the members, all our officers and the public servants, blow you me longen, lo here. I think the road, and we continue to work about blow you me longen, and long, me play all triple members inside the National Parliament, and me play got duty and responsibility stop, blow you me longen. Where we come in, where we're going to be is our obligation, is our duty to make sure we protect Walkabout Bloyumi long where the people wish me stop long and long life Bloyumi. So I think I'm long Walkabout Bloyumi long and long look stop 3+ sitting and the first one we plus sit down finish long and policy statement and minister may make him accompanied by Prime Minister. Number 2 sitting and by staff long August and by staff long August and we got me believe also by got all more debate na and by staff inside long issue blow you me long end. Okay, last plus sitting and by me looking also and by me by sitting by look long end maybe the final one long issue lo Bougainville and lo September 2023. So I think that's how mi work lo lug longen lo lug blami long work about lo Yumi longen. While he is mi stop longen, also mi work lo Yumi continue. Okay, me like strong him Yumi lo stand below you lo here long ABG leadership and staff minister responsible and staff on the president the cabinet longen continue long sanap lo display spirit na wave na land focus where you stop longen continue to work on we me play by working hard lo me play longen okay long work about me longen me make him after discussion, lo mi play want the BBG in leadership long Mosby, and mi play look longen lo something mi play no binama mas longen. So one play long all and maybe raising long caucus meeting and long side long all government side, long prime minister and government side long even caucus meeting people long floor parliament and mi play sabasin longen. Alo this plan mi been okay thank him. Long Prime Minister, Minister for Bougainville Affairs, long raising sensitive issue of Bougainville on the floor of Parliament, so that is ready to be said. What's the truth? Is stop inside longen. So we thank him all. Long display stop longen. Long effort now only put him longen. Okay, and it needs shaping and direction continuously. Long one time you may longen. But however me. Talk along highlight him. One belong all this plus taking point, there may be plus something absolute majority. Okay, me raise him inside a caucus meeting. Me talk along and absolute majority is a great fear of me, Blalo Bougainville. Okay, me as talking as a Bougainvillian, me look him, me now sit down go to mass. Me know I'm a mass long end. So me raise him. Inside of this, how many members of parliament or the staff long in caucus site or the staff long in. Talk absolute majority shouldn't be there. It must be replaced by the simple majority. So that's why I say it. And I think that was well taken long this talk inside of caucus meeting long in. And along the way, the road me play call on floor parliament and minister yet and me talk me. Now, I'm talk also. We will look through it. Look through this plan again. By Gata, and me, I'm a mass. You may get avenue, Benny, when we start joint supervisory body meeting now on our areas by continue long pressing this plan. So me raising finish lo caucus meeting. That is to come to the floor of parliament yet. So that's a thing and. It was a good response from Minister time talk by me play look long end for this plan. Raising them absolute majority to simple majority. So I think that's one plan. Long comment me can make him lo here long talk long and me like continue lo thanking you the government of the day long setting vision 2052 or 53. That is an important campus blow you me. Lo work about blow you me. I me encourage him. You may continue to work at it, shaping it, so that you may put him on a post, and by support him, this plan, things in the work about you may long and so that eventually, may come into translate when focus you mean 97.7% long and so that may good plan initiative continue long work on it. And not a plan thing may stop inside long and me like encourage him all people blow you me. Long lower level of a governance blow you me. Whether they are in the clan, in the community government, or ward government, to continue long take ownership, participate meaningfully in the new nation of Bougainville. So I think that's why it's important campus blow you me stop straight so that we guiding people blow you me through the direction where eventually people by achieving. Or we become who we are through long one and something spirit and we start long. Driving campus blow you me long ABG and start long in long 2052 or 53. This plan important. Not big platin me like support him. Security minister me police minister me must thank him long good work long in. I think me to apply in start block na me support him long long Gamapin police, it must come back. Police station must come back later. Heading on to that one, me like talk encouraging by continue extending plan locations. Now police stations must come up. Big plus something. Long all kita got another plan kita stop or station in a distance whereby any monitoring and managing area of security in between long each other. Okay. So this plan will be plan tintin na make support long and
Okay, honorable member, by me, give me
okay, good plan.
Just
Thank
a
you,
minute.
Deputy Speaker. So this plan important and security important. You make a capacity policemen and me must in accommodate you not long deal with population you make long end. Okay, this plan me important and side you may long end. Okay, I think big plus something monitoring. Big plus something monitoring you me how system the structure you me layout leadership and staff. Work you may and staff continue long monitoring and important so that you may advising and directing, redirecting how the population, how the government work long go long and how the money and work long go long and business all not apply long work apart you may long end. I think these are all important and I think me play long national members and me play got big commitment and me staff. So we are there for the purpose. We are not there for just pre-light long end. So we need your back and support for you so that we work as a team, as a Bougainvilleans to achieve what the outcome may play long end. Thank you, Long Harim.
Honorable members, time for private members' statements has lapsed. And now I will allow the ministers for any responses.
Point of order, Speaker. You may senisimal time law, house law debate, is there something, or are we still sticking to the timings? It's almost 1 o'clock now, Deputy Speaker.
I am giving time to the ministers for any responses. Okay. Me upholding point of order. Let me suspend him sitting in up 2 o'clock. Let me come back.